could do that. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome. We are here live for another episode of the Ready Set Grow show. And today
That's
I
me.
have a yes, no problem. Yes, today we've got a special guest with us, Leila Helen, hailing from South Africa via Mozambique. And we are talking because we are entrepreneurs at heart. But we both come from, but is, she's on the ground in terms of the topic that we're going to be talking about, the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur while having a full-time job. All right. And a full-time job for most people is an 8 to 4. Leela's going to just share a little bit about her full-time job. It's not exactly, set in stone and it's from this time to this time. No, it's a very different type of job. And yet she is an entrepreneur thriving in her business. And we are going to talk a little bit about that. Many of you know I'm a mom. I started off in a full-time job, left it because I was like, yeah, had enough of that. I need to work with my kid, need to stay home and be there with the family, which was a small family at the time, but we're growing now, So it's like having the flexibility to be able to work from home and be able to support your family, be there is great. But there is still some ups and downs in terms of balancing that because mom is a full-time job as well, as many of you know out there. All right. So Leila, before we jump in, tell us a little bit about yourself and this full-time job.
Hi, Hilary. Thank you so much for having me here today. And I'm really grateful. I mean, the internet is so amazing. We get to connect, and you just said good afternoon. I'm like, it's good evening. And we get to connect with different people. And I actually have to thank you for inviting me, first of all. And one of my first actually introductions to online and understanding what could online actually be was in a company that you were part of. And I remember seeing you doing the lives, and I'm like, oh my word, how does she do that? So it's really good to be here and to be invited to be part of your show today. So I am Layla and I have two passions, and I am a medical doctor, full-time medical doctor, and I love entrepreneurship. And currently I help most entrepreneurs that actually get to work with me to discover their passion and turn it into profitable online business. So this is what I do. I was actually thinking about it today, and I'm like, well, I help people heal physically and emotionally and financially. So
Actually,
I think those two go together. And the other question I usually get asked after this is, but which one is your passion? Passion. And I don't actually think I have a passion, like a number one passion. I really like to do both of them. I think they're part of who I am. They're part of my personality. And there's if I am being a doctor, I'm full time, I'm focused. And when I am an entrepreneur, I'm full time, I'm focused. So I don't think there's really a passion that takes priority. I love them both and I enjoy them both.
that is amazing. Yes, I am like because I have a friend who's a full time doctor, and I could never imagine you adding entrepreneurship to that because it's like entrepreneurship has no hours. All right, you don't
Sure.
check in at this time or that time. You're kind of like always thinking of different ideas. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I mean, as a full-time medical doctor, I want to know, how do you manage your time when it comes to how much time do you dedicate then to your business?
This is actually a really good question and a very trick one. And I would say that actually, I think the one thing that we learn as entrepreneurs and having a full time job is understanding how we can manage time. But for me, it's tricky because I mean, my time doesn't really, it's not constant. It's not, as
Mhm.
you said in the beginning, it's not a 9 to 5. It could be a 9 to 5 one day. It could be a 36-hour shift. You don't really, I mean, it could be a 48-hour shift. It's really quite tricky, but it's something that I'm also very grateful for, because you have to learn to focus and being intentional wherever you are. Not to say that when I see my patients, I don't think about my ideas when it comes to entrepreneurship. I do, but I've put my mind that most of the days, if I am focused on the job, if I have patients in front of me, if I have to deal with my patients, that's all I'm going to do. So you have to be intentional about the moment that you are currently. So if I am at the hospital, I am at the hospital. There are a few rules, like I check my email. I only check my email once, which is in the morning, just before I start my work. And if there's any emails, any business emails that I have to reply to, then that's when it happens. I don't check my Facebook like until if I have a lunchtime, then I'll check it during lunchtime and reply to any messages. So there's like things, these processes that you have to put in place in order for you to be very, very productive. So that's what has happened to me. And mostly, I really try to do most of the work that needs to be done. If it's research that needs to be done, if it's everything regarding being a doctor, I try to do according to that time that I'm allocated to. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that. I have to get home and continue what I was doing at work. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. But it's really about being intentional at the moment that you are. When it comes to being an entrepreneur or doing my Facebooks, replying to messages, talking to clients, I really do it after work. It's probably 6 p.m. to around 9:30. That's the time I dedicate to building my business. And that's why a lot of the parts of the business are automated. So there is emails going to the email list, and I choose the one specific day of the week that I'm going to be sending emails. I do my scheduling for my posts before time. So everything, yes, everything needs to be done in a little bit of advance. So the
Yes.
week is planned a week in advance. So whatever is going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, it's really already decided a week in advance. So if I'm not working that weekend, everything gets done on a Saturday or on a Sunday. And yes, so the week flows nicely.
Right.
Yeah.
That is,
So
one of the things you're talking about, that planning. And I remember when I did have my full-time job, I was that rigid where I would sit down and plan. And sometimes what tends to happen is that when you leave your job and you become full-time as an entrepreneur, those processes and sticking to this regime, they kind of fall through the cracks and things just happen. If it happens on Monday, we'll do that on Monday. And so, but when you're forced to time block, and I remember telling a lot of people that when I first started, that you've got to time block and you've got to batch. Now I did it
yeah.
because I just liked it, batching a lot of work. Now, would you say that how much time do you spend marketing your business versus actually, well, um, but let's take a step back. Tell me a little bit about your business.
All right. So the business is actually quite interesting because the first time I got to meet you, I was definitely doing network marketing. That was what I had, why I had decided to come online because of the time, of course. I couldn't be doing one-on-ones for a long time and people wouldn't pitch. So I was like, I don't really have much time, and having to do one-on-ones when people don't come, then I need to actually use something else. So just using that formula that Robert Kiyosaki says that you need to be, in order for you to have multiple sources of income, you need to be in different places at the same time. So that was the idea. Never stopped doing one-on-ones when I was doing network marketing, but I was learning how to do it online. So that's how it started. And once I actually did the course that we ended up meeting, it really helped me see how many other things I could do for me or for the business, or how I could help other people. So in marketing, my network marketing company at that time, plus making sure that I could get my affiliate commissions, I realized that I had something that I could actually give the people. And I'm not scared of talking. And I was learning. I mean, if I take something, I really take it and I start learning, making notes, looking for more information. And I saw that people were really understanding what I was saying. And the challenge was actually to start doing videos. And that's how I pushed myself to actually start the Facebook page. And I was like, okay, for 30 days, I'm going to do videos. The days that I can't be on camera because I'll be at work, I'll make sure I have a video that is already going to go at that time. So that's how it started. So getting to know entrepreneurs, understand their struggles, and see that not everyone actually wanted to be part of my company, but they wanted something more. Then that's when, it took a few years to actually change, but that's when it changed and it became I don't like to be called a coach, but it became that, I'll be your accountability partner. The same way I need one to make sure that I can do the things that I've been planning to, then this is the way I can help other business. It doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be network marketing, but I've also found out that there's so many small businesses, especially during these times that we're going through, that they never thought about actually never thought about having a social media presence. How could they start using Facebook? How could they start, what is it that they can do to start reaching new customers and new marketplaces? So it was really a shift that happened by force because, yes, it happened by force because as I was building and growing my last team on my network marketing company, then unfortunately the company closed down in our region. So it was a moment of, but I've been doing this for a while. And people have been coming and people have been asking me, do you have your own courses? How can I be more? How can I be coached by you? And how can I be part of what you're doing? And I realized that no, there is really something great here. So
Yes.
so that's when it really became this accountability partner part and helping small businesses understand how their business can help the next person and how they can really leverage social media and grow. And I always say, having a business doesn't necessarily mean that you can only think about money. And I think the most important part is you understanding how can I help the next person. At least that's how I see my business. And when I start thinking about the money, I just go back and I'm like, no. It's not about the money. It's about being able to help others get what they want. Exactly. And I mean, the partnerships that have come out of it. And I always say, the moment you realize who your ideal customer is and you start serving them, you would be so amazed. And that's exactly what happened. I was serving one group, which I thought was just that group that could use my services. But then when I actually went a little bit more broader, I saw that people really needed what I was having. And I'm so grateful for all the partnerships that have come through during that time.
During that time, yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, that is great. Yes. So yeah, because I mean, sometimes if we, I can't remember when I first heard that, because a lot of people are saying that the more people you serve, can't remember who said it, where I heard
Zig
it.
Ziglar.
Right. The more people you serve, exactly. The more that is when, for whatever reason, you're feeling more fulfilled, yes, but that is when your bank account is going to start to impact. So if you are not serving anybody, if you are not helping anybody, if you are not sharing with anybody, then that's why your business isn't growing.
Exactly.
In effect, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So one of the things, just before we wrap up here, you spoke a lot about the time management, the strategies, serving your ideal client. What are some things for you in your business that have pushed you? You talk about accountability, all right?
Yes.
And you and I are going to be, well, I don't know in terms of timing, but because it's winter there for you and we're like right, but this week, this entire week, I've had different people come on and we've been talking about the challenge that's coming up, this 5-day challenge. And the
Yeah.
interesting thing is, I just resumed a blogging challenge, right? I had
Mm.
done it many years ago. And I said, you know what, I'm going to jump into that. And I have all of a sudden resumed my blogging, which kind of had a pause. What have challenges done for you in your business?
Oh, Hillary, challenges. I love them. I actually started by saying that I challenged myself to do 30 days of video when I first started. That
Yeah.
was the first thing. I was like, I don't really like this. I don't know. Do I really have anything to say? What would people think? I mean, taking into consideration that I mean I'm a doctor and now I'm coming and talking about marketing and social media. Does it like didn't really make sense? And those are a few questions that I frequently even have to answer to myself currently. So that was the first challenge I did. I was like, no, 30 days, 30 videos. If I'm not there, definitely going to make them before time, put them out 30 days. At the end, I think I looked and I missed about 2 days to 3 days, which was fine. The
Mhm.
whole point was to do it and putting myself out there. Then I did, I've done a few challenges myself. Like recently, I actually just said, okay, 15 days of positivity. I'll be posting positive quotes and positive affirmations, and let's see what we can get out of it. Then I did a challenge, a one funnel away challenge, which was to learn how to actually start using sales funnel for your current business. I mean, that is probably where has taken the brand or the business to where it is right now. And it's challenges just level up, like they just level up where you are. Being able to be challenged, it's like I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to be doing things that I'm not comfortable with. But when you look back, you'll be like, oh my word, I've actually grown. This was great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
You see
that's
the benefits of it. Yeah.
yes. So that's basically what challenges have done for me. I've looked back and I'll be like, oh, wow, this was great. I mean, I can't believe I did that. Like 30 days of videos, then, but those are things that you have to do it at some point. And I mean, I'm really excited for the challenge that is coming, Freedom Challenge. I really like the idea that it's actually up to us. We make the decision of getting to our freedom. I mean, I declare my freedom, being it whatever, being it a financial freedom, I declare I'm living the life of my dreams. So by taking that decision and that responsibility into your hands, this is exactly what the challenge is going to do for all of us. We're going to look back next week, Monday, not this week, the week after, and be like, "Oh my word, that was great!" Like
That was good. Yes, exactly.
when I
When can I
was
do it
on
again?
Sunday, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm that person this Sunday. So
Yeah.
that's what challenges really do. I've done a few, and sometimes in order for me to release things and put out free content, put out the guides that are out there, I need to make it a challenge because otherwise I won't do it.
Don't do it. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Well, thank
yeah,
you so much. This has been fantastic and amazing because a lot of people think they can't do it. Yes, you can. Okay. Yes,
I
you
agree with
can.
you, Hillary.
Um,
Yes, you can.
you really just need to own it, as you said, claim your freedom and go out there and do what it is that you know that you can do. Just reach into yourself. All right.
Exactly.
So I know, Layla, you shared this on your page. So for those of you who want to join in on the challenge, I'm sure Layla will be dropping the link there. For those who are on my page, I'll be dropping the link in the comments after this live is over. But thank you for joining, and we'll see you Monday for another episode of the Ready Set Grow Show. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
today.
you, Hillary. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you. And you have a
Bye.
beautiful night.
Thank you. Thanks, Hillary.
All right.